All right, so today we're talking about Australia. Yeah, moving to Australia. Who wants to move to Australia? So you guys don't talk about Australia that much. It's like you've all abandoned Australia. But you need to like revisit it because the favorites, you guys' favorites are becoming, more difficult. So you really need to spread, talk about, look into other countries. And that is basically why we are here today. So let's talk about how you can move to Australia. And I'm going to be sharing with you several visas, not just one. There are several of them that are good for you that you can, apply for to move to Australia. All right, that's basically what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So you are welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Jackie, and on this channel I share information to assist you move abroad. So if you want to move abroad for whatever reason, for work, for studies, or any opportunity to leave and settle abroad, then my channel is the best place for you. So please do subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell so that whenever I share a new video, I come live, you'll be notified and you get to join us. All right. Before we go forward, I have a very important information for some people, but let me share this first before I give that serious information for these people so that those that are joining for the first time will understand what we're talking about. Okay. If you want to make money, to save money to move abroad, right, you can start a side hustle. Okay. And this is something that I myself did. My channel is all about sharing useful information that will help you in your relocation. So when I was living in Nigeria and I wanted to move abroad, I started this side hustle, this business, an online business. And the sole purpose of starting was to save money to move abroad. Okay, so I shared it on my channel as well. And so many of you have also taken advantage and are making money and all of that, right? So let me share it with the new members if it's your first time here and you want to make $1,000 every month. All right. You heard me right. If you want to make $1,000 every month, you can start a side hustle from the comfort of your home. You don't need to quit your job to do it. You don't need any experience to do it. Okay. Anybody can do it. And what is this side hustle? You can become a publisher on Amazon KDP. You can Google it. Any word you're not familiar with, just Google it. All right. Amazon KDP. Amazon is the biggest e-commerce platform in the world, owned by one of the richest men in the world, or should I say started by founded by one of the richest men in the world. And you can become a publisher there. And there are so many ways you can be a publisher on Amazon KDP. There are so many ways. You can publish your original work, you can be a writer, whatever. But the way I do it is the lazy way. Okay. I do it the lazy way, meaning that it's the easiest way. You don't need to be a writer. Anyone can do it. All you need to do is buy your pack of manuscripts already formatted, ready to publish, and publish them on Amazon KDP. These manuscripts are from public domain books. You can Google it, okay? These are in-demand books, they're in demand globally, all right? These are top-selling books that Stack Lee has put together, and you can just buy it, publish it on Amazon KDP. That's what I did like 5 years ago. I did the same thing, and I'm just sharing this exact same steps that I did that you can also do as well. So you buy your pack of manuscripts from stacklee.com. All the links are in the description box, don't worry. And when you buy your pack of manuscripts, it comes with a guide that will put you through on how to get your books published on Amazon KDP, how to create your KDP account from anywhere in the world, how to get paid directly to your local bank account, how to publish your books, and general success in the business. Basically, everything you need, A to Z, for your KDP business is coming as you buy your pack of manuscripts, okay? So you buy your pack of manuscripts, it comes with the free training, and then you can also join a KDP group. So send me an email, please, after buying your pack of manuscripts so I can add you to the group. That is if you're interested. It's not like you must be in the group, but it really helps, to be in a group of other publishers from around the world. So any country you're from, you would definitely see other people from your country that are doing it. So if you may need any guidance or have any questions to ask, people are always there, to help you. So that's basically how it works. All right. So all the links are in the description box. Please do your further research if you don't quite understand the way I've explained it. I'm just talking about how I did it, the way I did it, my experience and everything, okay? Buy a pack of manuscripts from Amazon, from stacklee.com, publish them on Amazon KDP and get paid every month. All right, it's passive income because you're buying your manuscripts just once, you're publishing just once, and then you get paid from that every month. Over 5 years now, I'm still making money from the one I got from Starkly over 5 years ago. I still get paid every month. All right. Yeah. So the important information I wanted to give was this. I have spent so many hours today replying messages, adding people to the group, those that have bought their manuscripts, emailing me, and I've just been trying to go through everything, but I've not finished. So please, if you emailed me within the last 3 hours, 4 hours, I've seen so many. Before I came on, some were still coming in, people telling me they've bought their manuscript. So please, after this live stream, I will go and attend to all your emails after this live stream. All right. So apologies for the delay. After the live stream, I'm going to add all of you to the group. Okay. All right, so let's start from somewhere. I want to share 3 different visas, okay? And what is common with all these 3 visas, let me just give you background information that is common with all of them, is that you don't need a job offer. If you're familiar with all those pathways in Canada, express entry and all of that, and the provincial nominee programs, this one in Australia is similar to the ones you have in Canada. All right. So there are 3 different ones I want to share. Australia has over 120 visas. Okay. There are so many visas in Australia. I think they have the highest number of visas in the world. So there is always something for someone. So you just need to research, go through all these visas and find the one that the requirements suit you. So the info is going to be a lot because there are different steps, different requirements, different things to consider when you want to move to Australia. So I will just try to take you through them. All right, I'm just going to try my best to give you the different aspects, the very important things you need to know when you want to move to Australia. So you can just know how to do it by yourself. You know, the whole purpose of my channel is giving you all the information so that you can do it yourself without needing to pay agents. That is basically one of my missions. You know, one of the vision and mission of this channel is just to give you information so you can do it yourself. All right. Okay, so what you see on your screen right now is the Skilled Work Regional Provisional Visa, and it is the subclass 491. So be nominated by a state or territory government agency, or an eligible relative must sponsor you. Then number 2, have an occupation on a relevant skilled occupation list. And then have a suitable skills assessment for the occupation. We'll look at that as well. Be invited to apply by the state or territory, all right? And then satisfy the point test. Okay, so it is a point-based system. What are you getting on this visa? This is a provisional visa. It is for skilled workers who want to live and work in regional Australia. So you're going to stay in Australia for 5 years. This is a 5 years visa. You're going to live, work, and study in a designated regional area of Australia. And you're going to travel to and from Australia as many times as you want while the visa is balanced. You can also apply for permanent residence after 3 years from the time of your visa, from the time your visa is granted. So this is Australia's skilled occupation list. So let's just go through it. These are the occupations that they really need in Australia. And for on this list, you're going to see the occupation, you see the occupation code, you will see the visa types that qualify for that occupation. Okay, so they kind of like just let you know, for example, if you are this, these are your options for visa. So it's very good that if you want to move to Australia, you work with this list so that depending on your occupation, you know the visas that are available to you and how you can also qualify for the jobs in Australia. They're going to tell you what they're looking for, the education, qualification, and certifications if needed for each occupation. We're going to see all of that. And then you also see the assessing authority for that, your occupation. Okay, so let's just go through the list. We're not going to see everything, obviously. I just want to give you an idea of how this works. So if you are an accountant, for example, okay, these are the list of visas that you qualify for as an accountant. You can see the 491 that we are talking about. It is on this list. All right, this is the 491 we are talking about. Remember, we are talking about 3 visas in this video, so we'll look at others after now. So now, if you're an accountant, yes, you know you qualify for this visa. That is one. Okay, and then another thing to look at would be, how do you work in Australia as an accountant? So this is the tab that opened for accountants. All right. So let us see the information here. So accountants provide services related to financial reporting, taxation, auditing, and all of that. So they just give you a full breakdown on everything about the occupation. These are the tasks to expect as an accountant in Australia. All right. And these are the occupations that are available for an accountant. All of this, you can read all of these things. You know, there's a whole lot of links here. You can just go through them and try to read wide, right? And then we've seen that you can also click here to see the assessing body for this occupation. So you click on that and it's going to give you a link. So you go to this link and see all you need to do to be eligible to practice in Australia as an accountant. So it has opened, right? So this is the assessing body for accountants. You can see carpenter. Carpenter made the list, all right? And 491 visa is on this occupation, okay? So you can see it. But I'm just going to give you like a summary of basically how you can apply and everything, okay? So this is more information about it, and they've also included links. So one thing with Australia is this: I find their processes easier than some other countries because they give you all the info, they'll show you how to do it, they give instructions. So like now, if you're reading this page, for example, you can click all of these things to see what is there. Like when they say you must have an occupation on the relevant, have an occupation on a relevant skilled occupation list. The link is there, you just click on it, go to that list. If you're a carpenter, search for carpenter. It comes up, you see all the information, all the visas, you go see, everything is just there. So you can just be going step by step and just following all that process until you get to the end. Okay. And it's the same thing while you're applying. They're going to give you links to apply. You're saying the link to apply, just all the information, all the instructions, step by step, how to move to the next step. Everything is just put out there. And then you can also check your eligibility here. Okay, so let's just see. Can we see that? So be invited to apply. So you can only apply for this visa if we invite you to. So the first thing you need to do is to submit an expression of interest that you're interested in this visa. And this is the link to do that. You just click on this link and submit your expression of interest, all right? So they would go through your information, and when you qualify for it, they will now nominate you. They will invite you to apply, okay? So you can see that. So indicate if an eligible relative is going to sponsor you for this visa, or if you want a state or territory government agency to nominate you. So if you don't have anyone to sponsor you in Australia, you tell them that you want a state or territory to nominate you, okay? And that will be done if you meet their qualification, all right? So after your expression of interest and you've been nominated, you then be nominated or sponsored. Okay, let's read it. You must be either nominated by an Australian state or territory government agency, or indicate that you'll be sponsored by an eligible relative. See below for more information. All right. Submit an expression of interest for the visa to get an estimate of your point score. All right. So when you submit your expression of interest, that is at that point you will get to know your point score or get an estimate. All right. If you score enough points, state or territory government agencies can see your expression of interest and might nominate you for visa. So the only time they would even receive your expression of interest is when you have met the points, all right, the minimum points. And then if you indicate in your expression of interest that you'll be sponsored by an eligible relative, The department may invite you to apply for a visa in an invitation round. All right. So it's just similar to Express Entry. You're just there and then they'll nominate you when it's time. Okay. That's basically how it works. So this is information of being nominated by an Australian state or territory government agency. So there are links to all of this. We can also look at it, when if we get to have time after everything, we can go through those lists, right? So that I can also show you how that is done. But these are links to all the territories and the states that you can apply to, all right, that can nominate you, okay? And then sponsorship by an eligible relative. There is information here about the kind of relative that can sponsor you for this. Your sponsor must be 18 years or older, usually resident in Australia, all right? And then be an Australian citizen or a permanent resident or an eligible New Zealand citizen. Be your relative, your eligible relative, or your partner's eligible relative if your partner is also applying for the visa. An eligible relative can be a parent, a child or stepchild, a brother, sister, adopted brother, adoptive sister, stepbrother or stepsister, be an aunt, uncle, or adoptive or step, a nephew, niece, adoptive or step, a grandparent or a first cousin. This is amazing. So even your cousin can nominate you. And then what is the age requirement for this? You must be aged under 45 to be invited to apply for the visa. You can still apply for the visa if you turn 45 after. We invite you to apply. All right. And then have a suitable skills assessment. So there's a link here for your skills assessment and information about that. So I was saying, this is the part where I was saying that we may need to do a separate video on this. All right. But I think I've seen someone in the comments say they have done it. Where is it? I've passed the eligibility assessments and all of that okay, we'll get to that. We're going to get to that question later. And then be able to score 45 points or more. So the minimum points you can score for this 491 is 65. All right, but it's best not to be 65 on the dot. Okay, try and go higher because you're not the only one applying, obviously. Then have this level of English language. So there's English language requirements, and then there is skills requirements, which you're going to see from the skilled occupation list. And then there's also health requirements, depending on where you're applying from. And then also character requirements, have paid back your debts to the Australian government if you owe the Australian government. All right, so that's basically the information about this. Then the step-by-step process is also here as well. That's why I said these things are like the easiest in Australia. So you just know step-by-step how to get it done. I don't think I really need to read all of this. It's something that you can just go over on your own so that we can move on to the next visa. But it's here, self-explanatory. Click on here and see all the steps. It's basically, we've said all of this somehow in the process of speaking about this. Okay, so you can go through that yourself. And then when you have this visa, what next? Coming to Australia, at the border in Australia, so much info here. So you can see that on your own. Okay, so the next one is the subclass 190. We have talked about this particular one on the channel before, but I had to bring it in because it is quite similar to the 491 as well. And this is a permanent residency visa. All right, this visa lets nominated skilled workers to live and work in Australia as permanent residents. All right, so you can work and study anywhere in Australia. You can sponsor your relatives for permanent residency. And if eligible, you can also become an Australian citizen. So you need to have an occupation on the relevant skilled list, have a suitable skills assessment, be invited to apply, satisfy your points test. So you can see that it's very similar with the other one. The only difference is that this one is a permanent visa already. So this final one is the subclass 189 visa. You can Google it as well. It's going to pop up. Skilled independent visa. All right. This visa is for invited workers, eligible New Zealand citizens, and eligible Hong Kong or British national overseas passport holders with skills we need to live and work permanently anywhere in Australia. All right. So this is the information you need to know. Points tested stream. You're going to stay permanently in Australia. This is the visa cost and everything. So let's just click for details. So work and study anywhere in Australia. Sponsor eligible relatives for permanent residence. If eligible, become an Australian citizen. You must have an occupation on the relevant skilled occupation list. Have a suitable skill assessment for the occupation. Be invited to apply for this visa and satisfy the points test. So you can see it is the same thing with the other two. This is also a permanent residency visa. So for everyone that is going through this process, feel free to give me updates. Okay, you can drop comments to let me know your updates in the process, or you can send me an email, let me know the updates and all of that. If you want to share, it's optional. Just to know that yes, you're taking advantage of the information I share here. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Let's do this again tomorrow. Let me know in the comments what we should talk about tomorrow, and I'll bring you that information. All right. Thank you. Bye.